Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday I covered in a video the exact starting date of the part 2 of the anniversary. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But here today we are going to talk about something that I know a lot of people are going to be very interested in, especially if your summons in part 1 maybe didn't go quite as well as you wanted, or maybe you got what you wanted just with the enough stones that you had like at the time, buying the sales or whatever. So going into part 2, a lot of you guys probably are going to want to know just how many stones you can expect to get. Now, we are going to do a breakdown of all the stones that will be available for free in part 2. So I'm not going to cover, obviously, things like extra sales, which they will, of course, add when the LR banner comes out. We're not going to factor in, like, the subscription pack, if you have that. Which, as a side note, if you don't have it, you 100% should buy the half-price one, if you haven't already. If you're someone who doesn't spend any money on the game and you never will, then obviously that's fair enough, each to their own. But if you're somebody who only ever buys one thing, even if you've never bought something before, but you'd be willing to spend a couple of dollars if it was for a good deal, the half-price 30-day stone subscription pack is the best deal that you're going to find, because it's like $5 for 90 stones, which, you know, obviously they're spread out over multiple days, like, well, a whole month, but definitely the best value. But as you have to pay for those, we are not going to incorporate those into the countdown, or the count up, I should say, because we're going to be counting up all the stones that you can get. And of course, one thing to bear in mind is we are basing this off of the schedule for JP. So you can see, and we're going to look at it at the end, on the wiki, they actually have a breakdown of the stones in each part. You can see the final tab at the top that says Dragon Stones. But having looked at it, there are a few things that potentially are not going to be on there for global, as well as the fact that they haven't factored in some of the things that I will be including. So this should be a pretty rough average. As far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't be any less than this. And then if we are getting some of the stuff that was very specific to JP at the time, then the number is going to be more than this. So I started by going down the list here and opening up all the separate tabs for the new events. One thing I wanted to cover, because it doesn't have its own page here, just like we had in part 1, there's going to be another co-op campaign. So basically all you have to do is play the game, right? You just complete a certain number of missions, a certain number of times. As you can see, as you go through here, you get 1 stone for 10, 1 stone for 30, 2 stones for 20. I don't know how I missed that one in the middle, but there's 4 there. And then obviously as you complete the ranks, like complete the tiers with your team, there's 1 stone here for rank 3, 2 stones for rank 4, and 3 stones for rank 5. So obviously in total that adds up to 10 stones. And then we go into the new like missions and all this stuff that's coming out, right? So we're obviously getting the new stages for the Goku event. We have 3 stages already, and we're going to be getting 3 new stages. So with 2 difficulties, that's obviously 6 stones per stage. Thankfully, after an update, I know some of you guys probably didn't even play before that update, but you only have to beat the stage on the hardest difficulty, and it automatically completes both and gives you both stones, so that's pretty cool. So it's 6 stones from there, and then you probably will have done this part already, right, leveling up your unit to level 10, but then you also get clear all stages on normal, which obviously you can't do until all the stages are out, so that's another one. And then clear any stage once with the unit awakened to the TUR on your team, which obviously you can't do. So that's another 2 stones available there, even if you'd already done this other mission. So that's 8 stones available from the update to the Goku and Chi-Chi event. Then we, of course, have the update to the Vegeta event. That one's very much the same. It has 3 stages right now. It gets 3 extra stages, so that is 6 stones from that. And then this one has different missions for some reason. Clear all stages on normal and clear all stages on Z hard. So you don't have to use the unit, which is interesting. I don't know why they didn't do the same set of missions for both. But obviously that is still another 2, assuming you've already done this previous one for leveling them up to 10. So that's 8 stones for both of them. And then we have the Gohan, Trunks, and Goten one. Obviously, currently we're at this point here with 3 stages. So yet again, 3 stages have been added, so that's 6 stones there. Now, one thing that's slightly confusing about the wiki version here is it says clear a stage with any Bond of Master and Disciple character ally is a mission for 1 stone. But I had a look in game, and I have a mission completed, which is to beat this stage with 1 Hybrid Saiyan character. So I don't know if the wiki is wrong, or they just changed it for global, or if this mission is only going to be added when the other stages get added. So I actually am not too sure, and obviously the wiki doesn't make clear whether that is the case or not. But since it doesn't list the Hybrid Saiyans mission, I'm assuming that that one has just been changed. So then obviously level up to 10 you'll have already done. Dokkan Awaken the Gohan into the Gohan and Goten you've probably done already. But then Dokkan Awakening the Gohan and Goten into the LR gets you another stone. And getting their SA up to 20 gets you another 2. So basically this is going to be 9 stones guaranteed unless this is an extra thing that they add. I'm assuming the Hybrid Saiyans one takes its place. But if it doesn't, then obviously if this is added as a new mission, then it will be 10. If it's not, then it will be 9. So just from the updates to the free-to-play farmable events, that is either going to be 25 or 26 stones, depending on whether this mission is going to be added as a thing. Don't worry about trying to keep count. I've got it all on a sheet here, and I will obviously give you the total at the end. But it is minimum 25 from the free-to-play character events, 26 if this is actually added as a new mission. So next up we get the Easy A's for the God Goku and God Vegeta, and then the Omega and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I don't know why they didn't do these both the same, because obviously these are both Extreme Z battles to Easy A 2 characters at the same time. The Gods one gives you 1 stone per stage all the way up to the end, so that's 30 stones. So you can see here total rewards 30 stones, but there are also missions. Perform the full Extreme Z Awakening basically is going to give you 3 stones, but as it says here, they can be completed twice, once for each character, so that will be 6 stones once you fully Easy Aid all the characters. So that is, I say all, both the characters, so that's 36 stones from this Easy A. And then the Omega and Gogeta one, for some reason, is 1 stone all the way up till you get to stage 21, and then it is 2 stones per stage. I guess maybe they did this because these guys are Dokkan Fest exclusives, whereas the other ones are just banner units. Maybe that's why they designated a difference. I'm not too sure. But as you can see, you get 40 stones instead of 30. And then the missions are exactly the same. Perform the full Extreme Z Awakening to get 3 stones. And you can do that for both characters. So that is 46 for that one. So in total, that is 82 stones just from fully doing the 2 Easy A's. I guess obviously if you don't have any of the 4 characters that are getting Easy Aid, you won't be able to complete those missions for actually fully Extreme Z Awakening them. So hopefully no one is in that boat. But even if you are, bare minimum, you're going to get the 40 and then 30 just for completing the stages. So next up we have the new stages for the Red Zone. So as I discussed in the part 2 video yesterday, we have 2 stages of both already, and we will be getting 2 more stages in part 2. So that's Rildo and Baby for the GT one, and then Cooler and Android 13 for the Movie Bosses one. So if we look at the missions, obviously this is the same for both. You get 5 stones and 7 of the tickets, which we currently can't use at the moment, for each one. But remember, you also get 1 stone for beating the stage for the first time. So technically you get 6 stones in total. So 2 stages on Movie Bosses, obviously that's 12. 2 stages on GT, that's another 12. So 24 stones for completing the new Red Zone stages. Then we get more missions for the GT Goku event and the Legendary Vegeta event. So we already have the, if we go to the missions tab, we already got Artificial Lifeforms and Target Goku. We get GT Bosses and GT Heroes. They give 5 stones each, but obviously remember at this point, I'm pretty sure we've all completed the GT Goku event, so you're not getting that 1 extra stone like you are for the Red Zone. So that's 10 stones for the 2 new missions, and then it's exactly the same for the Vegeta event. We'll be getting Super Saiyan 2 and Majin Power, so that's another 10 stones from that. So that is 20 stones in total from the missions added to the Vegeta and the Goku event. So here we have the stone breakdown that they give on the wiki. So this is where it starts to get a little bit confusing for global, because it says 198 here in total. The total that I have is higher, but because I've added some things that they've missed, but they also have some things on theirs that I don't. So right from the top, you can see special missions. There's 3. I brought this tab up here. So these are the part 2 missions, just to do a bunch of things, use a support memory, all those typical sort of things. You get more rainbow tickets. I'm going to do a video about those specifically. That'll probably go up tomorrow. about how to get all the rainbow tickets to make sure you get the most out of the free summons. But as you can see, one of the missions gives 1 and one of the missions gives 2. Those are the only missions that give stones. So special missions 3. So now they have this thing here, DB Games Battle Hour related missions. So remember, this was a special event that happened where they covered a load of stuff about things related to new Dragon Ball games. So obviously, because that's an event that already happened, it happened in, like, you know, February of this year, these stones we will probably not get. Now, obviously, Global could add something else in there as well, so we don't know. And then, obviously, on this list, they haven't included the mission stones. So they've got the Gods EZA 30, the Omega and Gogeta 40, whereas, obviously, as I already explained, once you fully EZA the characters, it's actually 36 and 46. So there's the Vegeta event and Goku event missions. There's the stones from the story events. They don't add the missions in either, although they list the LR one as 10, even though I have it down as 9 or 10 if you include the missions. And I have the Vegeta one down as 8 and the Chi-Chi one down as 8 as well, whereas they have 6 and 10. So the total is still the same, but I'm not sure how they got to those numbers. And then Red Zone 12 and 12, like we said. Co-op campaign 10, like I already said. And then weekend missions. So obviously this is a thing that happens every now and then. We've had it on Global fairly recently, I think, where you just get extra missions over the weekend. So I'm going to assume that because they did this for the anniversary on JP, they're going to do this for the anniversary on Global and just give us a random weekend or two where we get these extra missions. But we actually don't know that for sure. So that's 7 that I don't have added into my total. And then there's the SNS campaign. We've been getting those on Global now, so there is the possibility that we will get this, but it's not confirmed. And then, of course, social media is just a question mark, right? Because they always do extra campaigns and stuff. There is actually one going on Global at the moment, where if you retweet the tweets from the official Dokkan page, you get stamps. And once a certain number of people have got 3 stamps, we'll all get a bunch of rewards. So that is going on at the moment. Make sure you check out the Twitter if you have not seen any of that stuff yet. So they list that as 198. But the other thing that I have added to my list that they have not included is the fact that part 2 of the anniversary, if we go by the JP dates, it started on the 10th. That's when all of this stuff started to come out, right? The extra stages and all that kind of stuff. 10th of February. And then part 3, which I have up here. Yeah, part 3 started on the 22nd. That's 12 days. So that means part 2 goes on for roughly 12 days. So if you think at the moment we are getting throughout the month 3 stones a day from the login bonus, as well as 2 from just completing the missions by doing a certain number of stages, spending a certain amount of stamina, those typical daily missions, which we obviously have a lot more of during the anniversary. So that actually equates to 5 stones per day just from the login bonus and doing the missions, which of course over 12 days, 5 times 12 is another 60 stones on top. So with my list, even though I'm not including these weekend missions, I didn't include the SNS campaign. I think that, and obviously this is just a question mark. So those are the only 2 things on their list that I didn't include. I did include the missions for the EZAs, which they didn't, as well as the story events, and I included the login bonuses. So the total that I got came to 224 stones. So if we do get any of these, like the weekend missions, the extra social media stuff, this could easily go up to 230, 240. And then bear in mind, of course, whilst we are expecting it to be in part 2, there is going to be some sort of global exclusive thing. And you never know if we will start to see the first pieces of that in part 2. Because, you know, no one knows what it's going to be at this point in time. But let's say it's another free-to-play LR, right, to replace the GT Juniors. They could quite easily do what they've done with the other story events, where they release a couple of the stages in part 2, and then they release the last of the stages in part 3 to actually finish it off. So this number could go from 224 anywhere up to 250 or even higher. So potentially up to 250 free stones during part 2, but it is going to be at least 200. So when you add that up with, obviously, if you do buy the subscription pack as well, you're easily looking at over like 300 stones in part 2. So hopefully that helps you guys plan out your summons a little bit. Obviously the rainbow tickets are definitely going to help as well. Part 2, I believe, will start whilst the as soon as like the 3+1 cycle thing basically ends. No, wait, that's when the Part 2 banner comes out, I should say. So, Part 2, in terms of getting the new stages and stuff, when that starts, the 3+1 on the current Dokkan Fest LR banners will still be up. So obviously for some of you who are still chasing those gods or monkeys, you will be able to use some of these free stones to summon for them. So let me know what you guys think down below. What are you planning to use those stones on? Did you already get the Part 1 LRs and now you're saving for the Part 2 banner? I've already seen people say they're not that interested in the Part 2 LRs, so now all the rest of their stones are going to be saved for like Worldwide or Heroes. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.